What's happening, everyone? My name is Adrian and welcome back to What the Pun. Hope you're all doing well and staying safe. So, got exciting news for you today. It's a bit out of my usual YouTube schedule, but because it's so exciting, I couldn't wait and I had to share straight away. What am I talking about? Basically, Porsche has finally unveiled their latest addition to the 911 GT family, with the addition of the latest and newest and fastest 911 992 GT3. So, in today's video, we're basically going to compare the differences between the latest 911 GT3 that Porsche has just unveiled with the previous 911 GT3. And just to let you know, with the previous 911 GT3 there was two versions, a Gen 1 and a Gen 2. Main differences being the difference between the 3.8 litre engine in the Gen 1 and the 4 litre engine in the Gen 2. Alright, so let's get started. To start off with, let's look at the performance of the previous Gen GT3. Horsepower wise, you're looking at 493 horsepower, delivering 339 pound of torque, and with a 0 to 60 time of 3.4 seconds, and that's with the PDK fitted model. Total weight of the car, you're looking at 1,430 kilos. So with that in mind, that car itself sets a Nordschleife lap time of 7 minutes and 12.7 seconds, which now brings us to the 992 GT3. In terms of horsepower, you're looking at 510, delivering 346 pounds of torque, 0 to 60 also 3.4 seconds, and that's also with the PDK version. And in terms of total weight of the car, it's actually 5 kilos heavier than the previous gen. But with that in mind, in terms of Nordschleife lap time, it's set a time of 6 minutes 29.93 seconds. So when you only look at the cars purely based on their numbers, such as the horsepower and the 0 to 60, you're basically getting a bit more horsepower and a 0 to 60 time that's exactly the same. And it leaves you wondering, why should I really upgrade from my previous gen GT3 to the current gen GT3? When you compare both the cars based on their Nordschleife lap times, it leaves you thinking, how are they able to make so much improvements with the previous gen when both the cars have very similar power performance? And obviously the improvements in the lap time isn't purely on the power. So where do they make the improvements? Firstly, the car benefits from a double wishbone front axle used in the Le Mans 911 RSR. What this means, it improves the overall rigidity of the car, and when you're basically driving high-speed corners, bends, gives you the confidence that you can attack these corners and bends at higher speeds without the sense of losing control of the vehicle. Also comes with rear wheel steering as standard. Compared to the previous gen as well, much larger brakes. Though they're larger brakes, they're also 17% lighter than the previous gen as well. The car even benefits from more carbon fiber reinforcement, a new designed rear diffuser which generates 4 times more downforce, and also a new design Swan rear wing which generates up to 50% more downforce. Putting that all together basically shows you how much development and improvement they made on a new 911 GT3 to be able to achieve such a lap time on Nordschleife compared to the previous gen. In terms of how the cars look, the new 992 GT3 is good looking, but in my honest opinion, I do prefer the previous gen in terms of its looks. I like it because it looks a lot more smoother and streamlined compared to the 992. It's a lot more easier on the eye, to be honest. It's not saying that I think the 992 GT3 is ugly, but I just prefer the smoother looking kind of car. So which is why in terms of all the GT3s, I prefer the 997 GT3 in terms of its looks. With the look of the new GT3, I just feel like there's a bit too much going on. but we all know why it looks like that, because a lot of it is functional, and with that it's able to perform the way it can on the track. So enough about my thoughts on the latest GT3. What about yours? What do you think about the latest addition to the 911 GT family? Do you like it? Or are you someone that's going to stick with your previous gen GT3? Okay, so that's it this week. Like I said, it's only a quick video to compare the differences between the previous GT3 and the latest GT3 that's just been announced. In regards to next week, I'm going to try and spec a GT3 up on their website and see what we can add and remove, what options there are for this new GT3. So please stay tuned. And if you're not really a subscriber, make sure you subscribe, please. Alright, hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.